For Chant TV, we're here at Florida State Media Day here with quarterback coach, co-offensive coordinator Randy Sanders. And coach, got a luxury this year because it's been a few years since you've had your starting quarterback back. How beneficial is that to, I mean, really the entire offense to have a guy back who knows what he's doing?
Well, number one, it's amazing how many years I've coached quarterbacks, and it seems like you've been trying to decide who's going to be your starter. So to have one of these years where you kind of know who the guy is, and he's proven, he's earned the team's confidence, he's earned the coaching staff's confidence. It's a really nice luxury to have. Not only does it give you somebody as coaches to know who's going to be out there, the players get used to hearing the same voice. They get used to hearing the same cadence, the same way of checking, and the receivers are able to build the timing and the continuity with that guy. And plus, I think it just gives you a little more security when you go home at night and lay your head on the bed that you got a quarterback that can play.
We're talking to some of the wide receivers, and they said not so much maybe with you guys, but the off-season workouts. When they make a mistake, he knows, he gets on them and knows what to do. Where they didn't have that luxury a year ago. So I mean, really, working with the younger receivers, you don't have all those veterans. How helpful it is to have a veteran quarterback.
Well, very much so. And it's funny you mentioned that. I told someone earlier, you know, one of the biggest changes in DeAndre last year, he knew when the guy messed up, but he wasn't secure enough in the fact that he knew it to go get on him. Mm-hmm. He still wasn't sure whether he truly knew it or he thought he knew it. But now he knows, and so it gives him the confidence to really step forward, be more assertive, and take that role. And you know, he's done it since June. That was one of the things I challenged him with going into the summer was, you know, you've got to take charge. You got to be the guy now. You know, if somebody's not doing what they're supposed to do, you got to be the one that's going and finding them, you know, and challenging them to take the next step and step up and do what they need to do.
Now, you don't need to worry about your starting quarterback, but obviously you need to get a solid number two because you've been around a lot. You know, you can have to go those one play and you got to substitute the quarterback. I guess right now it's JJ. How's that going, and how's the other quarterbacks going?
Well, I've been pleased with JJ so far. JJ's obviously been around. He's going into his fourth year. He understands the offense. He knows kind of what's expected of the guy. The two freshmen, I think they're talented. They're good players. They're going to be good players. Their head spinning. There's so much to learn. You know, they probably have 4 or 5 times as much to learn, 4 or 5 times as much to do, and they're seeing 4 or 5 times as many different things from the defense as what they're used to. And as soon as they feel like they got it, we throw something new at them. You know, it's kind of an ongoing process. They're working hard. They're eager. They're talented. But we still got to keep going, keep making progress with them. I'm excited about what they can do, but it's what they can do. It's not what they have done at this point.
Best case scenario, you're able to redshirt those two guys and let them learn a little bit, not throw them out into the wolves right away?
Well, best case scenario, but you know, who knows? As you said, you know, you're one play away. I remember a few years ago at Kentucky, I had a year we had to start a game with we had to move a wide receiver because I had no quarterbacks left. You know, I'd had 4 of them get hurt. I remember we're out of pregame warmups, and I got 3 SEC quarterbacks throwing to the receivers. Unfortunately, we were all coaching. You know, I had nobody left in uniform. So those guys have to be ready. It's a tough position to be in, to be the backup quarterback, because you know you're always one play from playing, but you're not going to play unless A, somebody gets hurt, or B, you're usually way ahead. So it's a tough scenario to be in.
Now, jumping back to DeAndre, like you said, he's obviously improved in the leadership and a lot of the other roles that he needs to do. What is he still? I mean, what does he need to improve on from looking back to last season?
Well, there's no question, just understanding defenses, understanding what they're trying to accomplish, the strengths of each look, the weaknesses of it. I think the more he understands those things, the more he can anticipate. You know, it can allow him to actually play faster. You know, one of the things you always talk to quarterbacks, you got to play fast, but you can't rush. You know, and the more you understand, the more you're able to see, process before the ball is snapped. Once you get the snap, you confirm what you're seeing, then you're able to play faster, but the game almost slows down because you're getting what you expect, or you know what to anticipate based on what you're seeing. You know, and it just allows you to kind of process the game faster. You know, Coach Fisher always talks about processing the game. The more you understand, the faster you can process.
I think too. Obviously he took a ton of hits last season. Is some of that maybe he needs to get rid of the ball quicker? I mean, just from a fan or media perspective, sometimes it looks like he holds on to the ball too. I don't know. Is that accurate?
Well, there's certain times he held on to the ball. There's certain times we got to protect better. There's certain times we got to run routes better. You know, we got to be where we're supposed to be, and we got to do it on time. So it all fits together. You can't just lay everything at the feet of the offensive line, or you know, sometimes running backs have to protect. Sometimes tight ends have to protect. Sometimes running backs, tight ends, receivers have to get into the routes and run them as he expects them to. There's a combination of things. You go back and look at the reason we got sacked or the reason he got hit. It's pretty much a combination of all those things. And hopefully him being a year older, some of our receivers been a little older, some of our offensive linemen been a little older. Hopefully we'll be able to improve on those things. You know, as a quarterback, you're going to get hit. It's football. You know, he goes out there and he's got on hip pads, shoulder pads, and a helmet just like everybody else. And you're going to get hit and you're going to take hits. That's just part of the game. But it's nice when he doesn't get hit as much as what happened.
Last thing I want to ask you about, obviously you looked at some film of Alabama, that defense. What jumps out to you about them?
Well, they're big, they're fast, they're very aggressive, they're very multiple. You know, they do a lot of things. They obviously have a lot of confidence in what they do, and they're doing it with good football players. That's what jumps out at you. You know, they're good. You know, I think going against our defense every day in practice helps us prepare for a team like that, because our defense is big, fast, multiple, and talented. You know, so it's a little bit of an advantage maybe that we have that some teams don't have, because we get to go against a similar type defense just from a physical standpoint. Not everybody has those kind of players, but it's going to be a tremendous challenge. They're a good football team. You know, I think we're a good football team. It's going to be a fun game, but regardless, we still got 11 more games on the schedule. And one thing I learned a long time ago from Johnny Majors when I first started coaching at Tennessee, you know, every game is important. You know, whether you win or lose, the next one's just as important. You beat Alabama, come back, lay an egg in the next game, then suddenly that was the biggest game of the year that you didn't show up for. So you got to show up, you got to play, regardless of what the name on the jersey is or what color the uniforms are. You got to approach them all the same, and if you can do that, then you have a chance to be consistent and successful.
It's a little bit more of a chess match when it's that first game. You have the whole offseason prepared. Teams are more apt to throw a few wrinkles at you, I would guess.
Well, there's no question. But, you know, 28 years, going on 29 years, seems like more first games are lost than are won, but by mistakes, turnovers, things like that. And it's going to be a chess match. There's no question. But it still gets down to whoever blocks the best, whoever tackles the best, whoever runs the ball, whoever doesn't turn it over, whoever kicks it the best. Those are usually the teams that win, and that's our challenge, to do all the fundamental things well and be physical, play fast, and just play like we know how to play.
All right, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Coach Sanders. Appreciate it. Good luck this season.
Thank you.